I mean that. The rest of the world looks to us. The stakes are already high for American security before this bill was passed in the Senate last night. But in recent days, those stakes have risen. And that's because the former president has sent a dangerous and shockingly, frankly, un-American signal to the world. Just a few days ago, Trump gave an invitation to Putin to invade some of our allies, NATO allies. He said if an ally didn't spend enough money on defense, he would encourage Russia to, quote, do whatever the hell they want, end of quote. Can you imagine a former president of the United States saying that? The whole world heard it. The worst thing is he means it. No other president in our history has ever bowed down to a Russian dictator. Well, let me say this as clearly as I can. I never will. For God's sake, it's dumb, it's shameful, it's dangerous, it's un-American. When America gives us word, it means something. When we make a commitment, we keep it. And NATO is a sacred commitment.
Donald Trump said. Let's play the clip from South Carolina.
They asked me that question. One of the presidents of a big country stood up and said, well, sir, if we don't pay and we're attacked by Russia, will you protect us? I said, you didn't pay? You're delinquent? He said, yes, let's say that happened. No, I would not protect you. In fact, I would encourage them to do whatever the hell they want. You got to pay. You got to pay your bills.
It's un-American. When America gives us word, it means something. When we make a commitment, we keep it. And NATO is a sacred commitment. Donald Trump looks at this as if it's a burden. When he looks at NATO, he doesn't see the alliance that protects America and the world. He sees a protection racket. He doesn't understand that NATO is built on fundamental principles of freedom, security, and national sovereignty. Because for Trump, principles never matter. Everything is transactional. He doesn't understand that the sacred commitment we've given works for us as well. In fact, I would remind Trump and all those who would walk away from NATO, Article 5 has only been invoked once, just once in our NATO history, and it was done to stand with America after we were attacked on 9/11. We should never forget it.
Or by, sometimes I'll interchange, I'll say, by Barack Hussein Obama. Barack Hussein. But every time I say that, the fake news, oh, that's a lot of fake news back there. The fake news. Every time I say it, anytime I want to have a little fun, Governor, we have fun sometimes, even though the country's going to hell, we have to have a little bit of fun. But every time I interchange Barack Hussein Obama, remember Rush Limbaugh? He'd go, Barack Hussein Obama. I wonder what he was getting at. But every time I do interchanging, we do a little interchanging, they say, he doesn't know who the president is. He thinks it's Barack Obama. I say, no, but I think Barack Obama has a lot to do with running the country right now, and we can't let that happen. He has a lot to do with it.
Remember this moment? Play the clip, Salty.
I can't trust Obama. I have read about him, and he's an Arab. He is not. No.
No, ma'am. He's a decent family man, citizen that I just happen to have disagreements with on fundamental issues, and that's what this campaign is all about. He's not. Thank you.
Besides that, I like her boyfriend, Travis, even though he may be liberal and probably can't stand me. So before the Super Bowl, Donald Trump is saying that he thinks that Taylor Swift should not be disloyal because he is the man who made her, Taylor Swift, so much money. And as this one account, Bernie Belvedere, says,
They've got some problems, but if they go to another nation, they drop us like a dog, like a female drops a male after a date because he doesn't like her, right?
they're laughing. I wasn't even talking about it. And
By
here,
the way, it doesn't even make sense.
right now, here, play this clip.
We can be energy independent, and we can even be energy dominant. And yes, Quickly says that President Trump is saying you will be energy dominant very soon. We are a nation.
Did you hear that? I mean, you can compare what Donald Trump just said. Pick anyone. Let me show you a Biden clip from earlier today, and then I want to reflect on if something happened. So Salty, just pick any of them or play the clip.
We should never forget it. You know, our adversaries have long sought to create cracks in the alliance. The greatest hope of all those who wish America harm is for NATO to fall apart. And you can be sure that they all cheered when they heard Donald Trump and heard what he said. I know this. I will not walk away. I can't imagine any other president walking away. For as long as I'm president, if Putin attacks a NATO ally, the United States will defend every inch of NATO territory.
Yesterday, last night, it said today. He refers to himself as President Trump, so I'll just read it, though, even though he's not. Today, President Trump released the following statement announcing his endorsement of a slate of new leaders at the Republican National Committee. The RNC must be, and he puts must in capital, that's how you know Trump's writing this, must be a good partner in the presidential election. It must do the work that we expect from the National Party and do it flawlessly. That means helping to ensure fair and transparent elections across the country, getting out the vote everywhere, even in parts of the country where it won't be easy, and working with my campaign as the Republican presumptive nominee for president to win the election, and he puts this in caps, make America great again. For these reasons, I think my friend Michael Whatley should be the RNC's next leader. Michael has been with me from the beginning, has done a great job in his home state, North Carolina, and is committed to election integrity, which we must have to keep fraud out of our election so it can't be stolen. Just a note on Michael Whatley. He's an election denier from North Carolina who spread a lot of election disinformation. Trump goes on to say, my very talented daughter-in-law, Lara Trump, has agreed to run as the RNC co-chair. Lara is an extremely talented communicator and is dedicated to all that MAGA stands for. She has told me she wants to accept this challenge and would be great. And he puts great in caps. There's a few more sentences, but then it concludes by Donald Trump saying, every penny will be used properly. New day. And that's normally
It's un-American. When America gives us word, it means something. When we make a commitment, we keep it. And NATO is a sacred commitment. Donald Trump looks at this as if it's a burden. When he looks at NATO, he doesn't see the alliance that protects America and the world. He sees a protection racket. He doesn't understand that NATO is built on fundamental principles of freedom, security, and national sovereignty. Because for Trump, principles never matter. Everything is transactional. He doesn't understand that the sacred commitment we've given works for us as well. In fact, I would remind Trump and all those who would walk away from NATO, Article 5 has only been invoked once, just once in our NATO history, and it was done to stand with America after we were attacked on 9/11. We should never forget it.
Play this clip.
And they're proud, they're clapping, they're going crazy. I can't do it, Mom, I can't. Boom.
And this, play the clip.
You can do it, baby. I love you so much. And just bad news, bad things are happening. Mom, I'm sorry. Mom, I didn't do it.